Hello and welcome to Games with Neon. This is a game. I'm Neon. Trying this again. This game crashed on me before I got to this point last time. So let's see how this goes. I wonder if I can skip this. Espionage thriller. Enter skips it, I guess. Good to know. Reading options, original text. Change. Reset, continue. Player name. Let's do this. Continue. Situate things on my desk real quick. There we go. Rotate your mouse clockwise to advance the text. Anti-clockwise makes you go back. Okay. That's different. So it's letting my mouse go to my other monitors, and I don't quite like it. Okay. When we reach the end of it, I did not get to read that. Okay. The 39 steps is largely a pointer-free experience. Oh, okay. Clockwise. When you see one, that's your cue to interact. Okay, so if I go like that, okay. So it lets me put my cursor on the other monitors. When it does, I think it takes the music off too. I don't know. Apartment. Some locations can be explored. Wonder. Hit escape. Events, reading options, original text, change. Wait, no, I don't want that. There we go. Original text. I'll just do that. Okay, continue. I wanted some music options to turn the music down so you can hear me better. So wait a minute. What did I do then? Did I? Oh, why did it exit out? Okay, let me get the game back. Start it up again. Hit enter. Come on. I don't understand. So I go here, and I go to continue. I was in this apartment, but now I guess I gotta choose this? What is this? Okay, Richard Hannay is living in London, England. He yearns for a more interesting life. So I click that one. Play. I don't know what this game is. Apparently escape in most games to options, but this one just exits out. Hopefully you can hear me okay. The game is kind of loud to me, at least. I returned from the city on that May afternoon, pretty well disgusted with life. Okay, clockwise. Ooh, next one. Yeah, there we go. I know how to do this. I'm a professional. I had been 3 months in the old country and was fed up with it. I paused there because it was kind of weird. Counterclockwise? Clockwise. Then I clicked. I think clicking is what you do with the orange box.
Richard Hannay, you have got into the wrong ditch, my friend, and you had better climb out.
Oh. Shouldn't I? Present, child, teenager, working man, soldier, carer. What I'm gonna go with the present. A lot of imperialist ladies asked me to tea to meet schoolmasters from New Zealand and editors from Vancouver, and that was the most dismal business of all. I had no real pal to go about with, which probably explains things. Plenty of people invited me to their houses, but they didn't seem much interested in me. I had counted on stopping in London for the rest of my days, but from the first I was disappointed with it. I was the best bored man in England. Okay, I click, and then okay, is this just like reading a lot? My father had brought me out from Scotland to South Africa at the age of 6, and I had never been home since. I grew up in the Cape Colony, which was then under British rule. Okay, I guess there's a done button down here. Working man, soldier. I served the British forces during the Matabele conflict and was decorated for my role. I served 2 years with the Imperial Light Horse and was an intelligence officer at Delegona Bay in the Second Boer War. I lost many friends during those wars. Okay, I'm done. Here was I, 37 years old, sound and mind and limb, with enough money to have a good time, yawning my head off all day. I had a long drink and read the evening papers. Do I go counterclockwise to go to the other one? Or no, clockwise to go to the one I was, right? Yeah, then clockwise again to go up. That's different. That's weird. Okay, they were full of the row in the Near East, and there was an article about Kyrilides, the Greek premier. From all accounts, he seemed the one big man in the show, and he played a straight game too, which is more than could be said for most of them. I should click whenever we get to the end. Move on to the next one. Someone had loaded the cylinder player. I felt a deep nostalgia for my homeland of Scotland as Annie Laurie filled the room. Is that done? About 6 o'clock, I went home. I don't know what this game is, so well, I know it's called the 39 Steps. My flat was the first floor in a new block behind Langham Place. We're supposed to be like getting to know this guy. Let's enter. Can I enter a window? I want to go to the window. See, when there is an option so far, it's only been like one. Except when I was reading. There was no restaurant or anything of that sort. And each flat was quite shut off from the others. Rotating it to go to the next text is kind of different. Oh. 2 options. I just said there's only one. Now there's 2. I'm going to examine. Ooh, R. Hene. Do I... Oh, okay. That's going to be... Dear Richard, how is London? I do hope Paddock is looking after you well. And that your luck on the horses is lasting out. 10 to 1 it is. Like, lasting out. Now here's a tale for you. Last month in the Kalahari, I found myself in a tight spot. After 2 days, not Agnes, after 2 days on the plane, I lost my way and could not find the river. I was scared to go without. I'm doing this. You can pause it and read if you want, but I'm not going to. What's this? Oh, that does not help me. I mean, I don't. Okay, I'm just kidding. Wait a minute. How? Next. It was Kalahari. 2 days on the plane, I lost my way and could not find the river. I was forced to go without water for 3 days and 5 without a morsel of food, save for a few mopane worms. An excellent source of protein, which steered me away from starvation. I'll bet you I would not have gotten mopane. Then I ran into an old chief to whom I owed money. Because of my debt, he refused to help me, so I had to continue on my feet. The desert is not kind to any man, but I made it out with him. But I made it out, and a man in Tangiyaki sold me a Rhodesian Ridgeback, which will be my partner in the future hunts. I have named the animal Shaka, after the old Zulu chief, and will take him to the Congo with me where I go for the elephants. I plan to leave next week if I can get my new rifle finished in time. Yours, Peter Pinar. Close. So if I zoom in, and 5 without a morsel of food save you a few mopane. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have got that. Rhodesian Ridge. Like, now that I know what they are, Tanganyaki, I wouldn't have been able to get them otherwise. Okay, let's go back. Examine. I can't examine anyone else's because they're not mine. Back. Ascendi. Open. Draw the symbols as they appear. Oh no. Up. Oh, okay. That's different. Now what?
Paddock?
Oh.
That's me home. I'll be heading out for dinner.
Is he not alive? Is he a ghost? I don't collected Paddock. Okay. I hate serpents on the premises. So I had a fellow to look after me who came in by the day. And then I kind of clockwise rotate. He arrived before 8 o'clock every morning and used to depart at 7, for I never dined at home. Click. Somebody tired. Queen Anne Street. Cavendish Square, Hanover Square, George Street, Conduit, Dover Street, Berkeley, Duke Street. That evening I dined at the Cafe Royal, and then headed elsewhere for entertainment. Leicester Square, Alhambra. That's a cool looking building. Ooh, do I get... Oh. An evening's entertainment. Oh, definitely this one, 'cause I like the name. Even though I can't say it. Worcestershire Square. On this particular evening, I wandered to Worcestershire Square, where the more resplendent theater of varieties could be found. A show with the Alhambra caught my eye, though one could never be quite sure of the act until it had been seen. Music halls. The countless music halls of London were one way of passing the evening away. farces of all styles played a conspicuous part in this week's bill. They look happy. Okay, done, I think. And I gotta choose? It was a silly show. I did not stay long. I can tell you this is not an action game. Because this is kind of like a point and click game, but you don't really get to point and click much. On the way home, I gave half a crown to a beggar because I saw him yawn. He was a fellow sufferer. Rotate clockwise. I made a vow. I would give the old country another day to fit me into something. More text. Rotate clockwise. If nothing happened, I would take the next boat for the Cape. I wish I could do that. Oh, it gave me an achievement. Richard Hannay is living in London, England. He yearns for a more interesting life. Achievement. The wrong ditch. Wait, what if all these are achievements then? Let's add what? I don't know. Okay. Resolved to leave England for the Cape, Hannay's outlook changes as a mysterious visitor drops by. So these eyes in the background are totally freaking me out. And that nose looks like an elephant's nose. Wait a minute, is that like the brim of glasses, or is that his nose fold? That's disgusting. And what's down here? All this down here. It's like a mask? I don't know. 39 cards. Havoc. Oh, these are the ones I've been unlocking, I think. Events. Continue story. Let's go to continue. An unlikely visit. Wimpole Street, London. Monday, 18th of May, 1914. Which, as I'm reading some of these sentences, it's not structured like stuff is today. So it feels kind of different to read. Back here again? Open. Do I have to do the handle stuff again? Oh, there's two of them this time.
Can I speak to you? May I come in for a minute?
I recognized him as the occupant of a flat on the top floor, with whom I had passed the time of day on the stairs. Oh, I tried to... What? He was slim, with a short brown beard and small, gimlety blue eyes. His hand was pawing at my arm. I motioned him in. His hand... Wait a minute. Wait, no, this way. His hand was pawing at my arm. Like... Just... I don't... Okay. I'm not gonna... Just... Clockwise? There we go. Now click. Okay, in this part, the dot means you have to hold the left mouse button down, and then you can draw. Ooh. Nope. Does that count? No sooner was he over the threshold than he made a dash for my back room, where I used to smoke and write my letters. Then he bolted back.
Is the door locked?
What is going on? You can pass a lot of time with this game, because it's not very fast paced, as you can guess already. He filled himself a stiff whiskey and soda, and drank it off in 3 gulps. Rotate clockwise. I sat down in an armchair and I lit my pipe clockwise. I was pretty certain that it had to deal with a madman. At first, in my brain, I read Madame. I was pretty certain it had to deal with a Madame.
I'm very sorry. It's a mighty liberty, but you look like the kind of man who would understand. I've had you in my mind all this week when things got troublesome. Say, will you do me a good turn?
I'll listen to you. That's all I'll promise.
Pardon. I'm a bit rattled tonight. You see, I happen at this moment to be dead.
What does it feel like?
A smile flickered over his drawn face.
I'm not mad. Yet. Say, sir, I've been watching you, and I reckon you're a cool customer. I reckon, too, you're an honest man and not afraid of playing a bold hand. I'm gonna confide in you. I need help worse than any man ever needed it. I want to know if I can count you in.
Get on with your yarn and I'll tell you.
Okay. The queerest rigmarole. Franklin P. Scudder was an... I can't read fast enough. After college being pretty well off, he started out to see the world. Ooh. Do, 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 do. I'm ruining the music. He wrote a bit and acted as a war correspondent for a Chicago paper. Tensions in the Near East. Balkan affairs test Europe. He had played about with politics, at first for interest and then because he couldn't help himself. Then he made his discovery. Whee! Whoa, a car. Moving on up. Now what? Please don't walk like that. Please. Where? Okay. Thank you for stopping that. No. Bad. Stop it. Wait, is he robbing a place? Away behind all the governments and the armies, there was a big subterranean movement going on. Engineered by some very dangerous people. They look pretty bad. The sort of educated anarchists that make revolutions. And behind them were financiers who were playing for money. They wanted Russia and Germany at loggerheads. Okay. Everything would be in the melting pot. The anarchists looked to see a new world emerge, while the capitalists would make fortunes by buying up wreckage. And Scudder himself had convinced that Jewish men were behind it all.
On the 15th day of June, Konstantin Karolides is coming to this city. The British Foreign Office has taken to having international tea parties, and the biggest of them is due on that date. Now, Karolides is reckoned the principal guest, and if my friends have their way, he will never return to his admiring countrymen.
I set up for that, for I had been reading about Karolides that very afternoon.
Well, that's simple enough anyhow. You can warn him and keep him at home.
And play their game. If he does not come, they win, for he's the only man that can straighten out the tangle. And if his government are warned, he won't come, for he does not know how big the stakes will be on June the 15th.
I was beginning to get interested in the beggar.
What about the British government? They're not going to let their guests be murdered. Tip them the wink, and they'll take extra precautions.
No good.
Tip them the wink.
They might stuff your city with plainclothes detectives and double the police. And Constantine would still be a doomed man. He'll be murdered by an Austrian. And there'll be plenty of evidence to show the connivance of the big folk in Vienna and Berlin. It will all be an infernal lie, of course, but the case will look black enough to the world. But it's not going to come off if there's a certain man alive right here in London on the 15th day of June. And that man is going to be your servant, Franklin P. Scudder.
Collected Scudder. I was getting to like the little chap. His jaw had shut like a rat trap, and there was a fire of battle in his gimlety eyes. Oh. They could have rhymed that last part too. Oh well.
Where did you find out this story?
I completed my evidence 10 days ago in Paris. I can't tell you the details now, for it's something of a history. But when I was quite sure in my own mind, I judged it my business to disappear. And I reached this city by a mighty queer circuit. Till yesterday, I thought I had muddied my trail some, and was feeling pretty happy. Then...
The recollection seemed to upset him, and he gulped down some more whiskey.
Then I saw a man standing in the street outside this block.
You're drunk.
I used to stay close in my room all day, and only slip out after dark for an hour or two.
Because you're a drunk.
I watched him for a bit from my window.
Because you're a drunk.
And I thought I recognized him.
Because you were
He
drunk.
came in and spoke to the porter.
Because you were drunk.
When I came back from my walk last night, I found a card in my letterbox.
Like that song. Because I was high.
It bore the name of the man I want least to meet on God's earth.
Because I was high. I think that the look in my companion's eyes, the sheer naked scare on his face, completed my conviction of his honesty.
What did you do next?
I realized I was bottled as sure as a pickled herring. And that there was only one way out. I had to die.
I don't know why they're in
If
ghost
my pursuers
form.
knew I was dead, they would go to sleep again.
How did you manage it?
I don't know. This is different. So I'm sitting there talking to him. Well, I guess this is before, but he's a ghost, it looks like now? How Scudder died. Let's try step one. I told the man who valets me that I was feeling pretty bad and got myself up to look like death. That wasn't difficult, for I'm no slouch at disguises. Step one, convince Porter illness requires disguise, makeup, clay. Too much? Rip gown? Step two, then I got a corpse. You can always get a body in London if you know where to go for it. I fetched it back in a trunk on the top of a four-wheeler, and I had to be assisted upstairs in my room. I had to pile up evidence for the inquest. So I went to bed and got my man to mix me a sleeping draught. And then I told him to clear out. He wanted to fetch me a doctor, but I swore some and said I couldn't abide leeches. Step 3. Oh, that was step 3. Step 4. When I was left alone, I started to fake up that corpse. He was my size, and I judged he had perished from too much alcohol, so I put some spirits about the place. The jaw was the weak point in the likeness, so I blew it away with a revolver. Oh my, okay. I dare say there would be somebody to swear having heard a shot, but there are no neighbors on my floor, and I guessed I could risk it. We'll make a loud bang. Bang, bang. Neighbors, not a great deal. Jeez. Is this guy? Step 5. I left the body in bed, dressed up in my pajamas with a revolver lying on the bedclothes, and a considerable mess around. Then I got into a suit of clothes I had kept waiting for emergencies. I didn't dare shave for fear of leaving tracks, and besides, it wasn't any kind of use my trying to get into the streets. So that's the 5 steps. So people think he's dead, I guess. Oh, okay.
I had had you in my mind all day, and there seemed nothing to do but to make an appeal to you. I watched from my window till I saw you come home, and then slipped down the stair to meet you.
He sat blinking like an owl, fluttering with nerves and desperately determined.
There, sir. I guess you know about as much as me of this business.
It's getting pretty interesting, actually. Oh, I gotta go ups, roundsies, leftsies, or left rightsies, and this is counterclockwise, downsies, upsies. I was now pretty well convinced that he was going straight with me, clockwisies. It was the wildest sort of narrative, but I had heard in my time many steep tales which had turned out to be true. Clockwisies. And if he had wanted to get a location in my flat and then cut my throat, he would have pitched a milder yarn. Wish you'd pitch a milder yarn.
Hand me your key, and I'll take a look at the corpse. Excuse my caution, but I'm bound to verify a bit if I can.
I reckon you'd ask for that. But I haven't got it. It's on my chain on the dressing table. I had to leave it behind, for I couldn't leave any clues to breed suspicions. The gentry who are after me are pretty bright-eyed citizens. You'll have to take me on trust for the night, and tomorrow you'll get the proof of the corpse business right enough.
I'm gonna need another cup of coffee if I'm gonna do this much longer. I thought for an instant or two.
Right. I'll trust you for the night. I'll lock you into this room and keep the key. Just one word, Mr. Scudder. I believe you're straight, but if so be you are not, I should warn you that I'm a handy man with a gun.
I haven't the privilege of your name, sir, but let me tell you that you're a true gentleman. Now, I'll thank you to lend me a razor.
I took him into my bedroom and turned him loose. You know, I found out recently, like maybe 6 months ago, that the medicine cabinets in older houses, they used to put the old used razors in the walls. So if you just open up the walls, there was no dispense system for them. It was just, they went down the walls, and they were small enough to where they could pile up for years and years and years, and nobody would care. But if you try tearing down a wall, you'd have hundreds and hundreds of these old rusty razor blades just like coming out of the wall. It's pretty interesting. I took him into my bedroom and turned him loose. Is this PG-13 or? Doesn't sound like it's PG-13. It's PG-39. In half an hour's time, a figure came out that I scarcely recognized.
My hat, Mr. Scudder.
Similarities. Only his gimlety hungry eyes were the same. He was the very model, even to the brown complexion, of some British officer who had a long spell in India. He was shaved clean, his hair was parted in the middle, and he had cut his eyebrows. Oh no. Wait a minute. So, only his eyes were the same. Brown complexion, some British officer who had a long spell in India. Shaved clean, his hair was parted in the middle, and he had cut his eyebrows. That's... I don't know what's going on here.
Not Mr. Scudder. Captain Theophilus Digby of the 40th Gurkhas. Presently home on leave. I'll thank you to remember that, sir.
Okay. I made him up a bed in the smoking room and sought my own couch, more cheerful than I had been for the past month. Things did happen occasionally, even in this god-forgotten metropolis. Or Metropolis. New event. Deeper into the mist. And that gave me an achievement. An unlikely visit. Resolved to leave England for the Cape. Hene's outlook changes as a mysterious visitor drops by. Okay. Scudder is confined in Hene, but he is not out of danger. Officially dead, he must now lie low. So, extras. 35 minutes, 3 of 19. 19. Wards, 0 of 16. Bookmarks. Quit to profiles. Oh, events. There we go. Cards. This is the other one I earned. Franklin P. Scudder. Oh wait, there's two sides of it? So first I thought that was a gun up here when you look at the icon, but it's actually his pipe. I wonder if anybody actually uses pipes like that anymore. But when I was a kid, I'd see a person here and there use a pipe like that, but I don't know if anybody does. Self-made mining engineer. Richard is chivalrous, refined, and intelligent. A distinguished gentleman who was blooded in the Metabel and Boer Wars. Born in Scotland and raised in British South Africa. This weather-worn man of action is also a master of languages. Okay. Oh, select to view and flip cards. I didn't see that. That's correct. Okay, well that's going to conclude this video. 39 Steps is basically a storytelling game, and with little to no interaction. Definitely those are the games you kind of like, then go for it. It's nice and chill, easy to follow along with the story. And I'm probably not going to record, but I'm probably going to go through the rest of the story and figure it out, because they've got me pretty interested in what's going to happen. So yeah, hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you next time. Bye! I said bye, you can go now. I'm not going to play more. You just leave, please. This is awkward. Leave.